Abena Korkor abeka san opay ani no edi nkomo. Abena, good morning.
Good morning.
Na enom ti san opay.
Na me adom na me shawti function na.
Abena anopay edi nkomo efa mental health ho, edi nkomo efa bipolar enso ho. Obetimi a chirechire mu what you've been told as to what bipolar condition yeah.
Okay, so me tiasi mono. Bipolar disorder, mood disorder. You can either be very depressed or very manic. Those are the extremes. It doesn't mean it will be all bipolar. No. Every time the person is always depressed or always manic. But when the person is in crisis, the person can be in either of these two states, and I say even mixed. Me fan say obi diabetes, orphanage, but sometimes they can have sugar crisis, and sugar is too high or too low. It's the same way as obi bipolar disorder. No. The person can be okay for most of the time, but a bit of time, obi crisis, maybe she's extremely depressed, that's extremely manic. Now, when you are depressed, now you lose interest in your daily activities. Some people become suicidal. Some people just lose meaning in life. They will be a say, oh yeah, lively. They be a no one and I say, or should them they be a myriad of symptoms. But these are like the general ones. And when it comes to being very manic. And also, Nipano is like Nipanes is from the actual normal. If you be over or you come DBI, you realize that the person becomes very talkative, and it's not just being talkative. It's like to me, stay on one topic for a very long time. Within maybe a 30 minutes or 15 minutes conversation. Now it's me a can about 20 or 30 within that short period. Sometimes you go through insomnia, you don't sleep. There are people that easily irritated and trying to be fontaine. But other people too that become hypersexual. You overspend sometimes. So there are different symptoms that you may go through depending on, let's say, what is currently going on around you. I won't say all bipolar patients experience their manic episode as I do, or my depressive episodes as I do. There are general symptoms, but there's it's always peculiar to a certain individual. Yeah.
Maybe so as on my from your experience, you need mental health issues
Ghana nankasa na nyame hu ne say most are not pay ye di nkomwe yaka maybe bipolar ho asem. That this discourse, a lot of people may not take time to do further research about the topic. And unfortunately, there are only a few like media houses or a few people who are vocal about the topic in a very critical and educational way. Let's say maybe fortunately or unfortunately for me, how my manic episodes turns out, the very first one, it was a very, sexually oriented. Almost all of them to have been sexually oriented. And for me, maybe like the highlights of the manic episode are Ubia Huniye. I come and talk about my private sexual encounters. There are so many other things that goes on during my manic episode. I have insomnia, sometimes my thoughts are disorganized and all those things. But it's just that everything on social media, and I'm out for anything. And sometimes I have to be hospitalized for days or weeks. And people just focus on, okay, because Yabo maybe politician reading and answer this popular figure reading, and that is what they focus on. They don't take their time to understand the condition, actually learn about why does this go on. But people just want to chastise, they just look at the sensational part of it a nipa we onya episode why you see why that is what Ghanaians are interested in, but they have not really taken time to learn about mental health conditions, and it makes people living with the condition suffer. It makes the people that live with the condition to also suffer, and even everybody in general, because when you learn about it and you identify maybe signs and symptoms, a lot of people can easily get diagnosed and get support for it. And there's also a lot of stigma surrounding it. Like obi or bipolar or serious challenges. But maybe because of maybe make me bar out no bibi kakra me ebia no, then they relate it to bipolar disorder. Obi or she's going through that or he's going through that, but bibi oye jimakra also so body and the people are suffering silently. When people have other conditions, maybe you'll be or heart problem or what do you call it, diabetes, and I said there are systems that may support the person. But when it comes to mental health conditions, now and we have this wrong perception about people with mental health challenges. They are maybe violent, they cannot hold a correct job, or the systems are just not in place for them. They are just not in place. People just work on assumptions. So people with mental health conditions face a lot of stigma. A lot of people may be seeing symptoms, but they cannot go for diagnosis or cannot openly go for treatment because of the fear of being stigmatized, and it's killing a lot of people. Somebody has committed suicide. Just people are just going through a lot negatively. But as a nation, our system, we as a people, no, we hear about mental health problems. Every now and then, no, a lot of people feel stigmatized. Yeah.
When it comes to this conversation on bipolar, so far it looks like you are the most vocal. Are there others I want you share? They wish they would tell their story, but because of stigmatization, it's not going to be ember out.
Oh yeah, I have a running support group, NGO, Advocate, and we have a support group and like we are lucky enough that we have the group as a safe space. There are lots of people going through things that there are some that were fortunate. I know I know I can comment, like, then again, company maker means me in boniding because of fear of stigma, because it's like they are supporting their workers that have bipolar disorder. But then again, because of the general stigma, it's not even something that you can even come out publicly to say, because it's company where they have, people like Abena Korkor or something there. So maybe I'll be scared to engage them or whatever it is. But no, when people have bipolar disorder, they just have moments of crisis. And they need support to get back on their regular, routines and all that. So it doesn't mean that, once somebody has bipolar, you have to sideline the people. No, it is very wrong. Me and most of, like, let's say, places that I've been engaged when it comes to work and other things, I've been misunderstood in a lot of, cases. But all I say to people with bipolar disorder is they say, no matter what, the people around you put you through or stigmatize you, make sure you don't stigmatize yourself. You still have a life to live. You still have goals and ambitions to achieve. Sometimes you will not be accepted in the mainstream, but still focus on what you want to do and, go for it. Yeah.
All right. Now, maybe some question we post a episode. I'm trying to say we'll go through as an episode now. We're free more epi. What's the feeling like? How do you feel?
My very first ones, I felt like a whole lot of things, because the first one that happened, I was a student at the University of Cape Coast. My my private videos were out, and I don't even have a challenge with maybe what the videos were about. but it's more of how people portrayed the videos. You know, Abena Korkor's sex videos are out. I was literally like, you know, dancing in my lingerie, and I was really like, you know, ashamed to talk about it publicly or whatever. But me, I realized to say, okay, it was even something that I was passionate about, but just because of the community I find myself, like, it's always frustrating to fully pursue it. So it's me, like, anytime I will have an episode, no, like, there's a small aspect that if I organize it, like, it's something that's going to be lucrative for me. But because of where I find myself, people like Debiana may come and share. So, you know, you come out, you always feel like, okay, you are the worst of it all. I didn't even feel like deserving to go back to school because you're on campus, everybody is talking about you. People are scared to engage you because all they remember about you is, okay, Nipa Wedie, I said, we see our back of cafe. That is not all of me. That is just like a very bit of me that sometimes I don't even have any control over. Like when it comes about talking about my private issues. As for the lingerie and stuff like that, I've just seen that it's something that I'm passionate about, and I'm already pursuing it as you know, a business. I now market, you know, lingerie for plus size ladies.
So is it the case, sir? Some of the videos on your Instagram handle account, you know, those are videos that you did at the time when you had not gone through any episode.
Okay, so when it comes to like,
the
you know,
lingerie ones
in the past that what do you call it, when I talk about, let's say, my private issues with men, at that time, most of the time I'm going through an episode. I'm going through an episode, but as time moved on, me who said, like, it's like every time it's like you have something that your mind just go as a way, a footballer, and then people go like, oh, okay, be a banker or whatever, but every now and then you're passionate about playing football. So it's like me and the lingerie affair has been something like that. I would love, like, I'm a very intelligent girl, I would love to, you know, work with maybe some corporate bodies or whatever, but there's this part of me that is interested in, you know, body positivity, doing lingerie. When I wear lingerie, do a photo shoot, I'm marketing it. I see a work of art like as the lingerie. I see a woman rocking it and feeling confident. But Ghana for Bebre, Ajinsa, Ghana for Bebre, a hypocrite. Ghana for Bebre do a lot of things, all in the name of things being evil. So they paint me black, say medium if it's a mirror room, it's like I really don't understand. There are so many so koto products na bema sebi you're a guy now I share boxes pena eda we so a ubom pa mani pane say on ko sha the person is, for Christ's sake, marketing a pair of boxes and it's showcasing the product to you. So sometimes when you do right now, my imagine say I'm not going to explain myself to everybody. I will just, you know, pursue what I need to do, whether there's a bipolar label on me or not. Because the man say, yeah, baby, I may be and me to me because I'll feel so, oh, Ghana for because oh, this girl is sick again, and
but
I can't live my life like that.
Do you regret post your episodes, you know, when you mention confidential things in public, the individuals you mentioned, do you regret mentioning them?
Yeah, if I had the opportunity, yes, I wouldn't even have wanted that to happen because whether it's true or not, it is still a private encounter between you and someone. And me too, there are things that I would do with people that yes, I my year, but bibia ebeda bejima like so on for so be at the end of the day, like critically, if it wasn't me having a relapse, like me talking about people that I've engaged with sexually, what does it really do for me? Like, what does it really do for me? Nothing really. So apart from that aspect, ABC, you know, yeah, I definitely wish, okay, all that was not necessary, that it didn't have to come up, but it's a crisis. I can't hate myself for it. I can't continue living my life in regret. Yeah.
All right. But let me ask you, and you know, one make key effort to be say as much as it was during crisis, you say these things, you know. You extend some overtures to Woma Obomudino, apologizing for even mentioning them in the first place.
Okay. I what do you call it? The main focus was discussing bipolar. I think it's more gearing towards like maybe
Your personal. That's fair. I understand. That's fair. I understand. That's fair. I understand. Now let me bring you to the conversation itself. So now, the corporate world. Do you think that the corporate setup allows for people to have mental disorders like being bipolar and yet work efficiently in these setups?
Majority of corporate bodies, no. Majority of corporate bodies, no. Majority of corporate bodies, no. No, they don't at all. Like, if anything, I know of one person in my support group, not a teacher or baby, a very intelligent girl, a teacher or baby. She thought that, oh, not school ni were counselor. Into your feel that, oh, me now will be in crisis I can talk to, or really me panic or bipolar disorder. No. In the 1 week for meeting now, and they laid the person off. And unfortunately for her, now it was like she was on probation and there was no appointment letter, so we couldn't pursue that legally. When it comes to me, for instance, I was working at TV3. There was like, end of contract. It wasn't even a proper end of contract. So why, like, I'm no longer on the screens, I really don't have like, a definite like answer. And there are vague conversations about maybe videos I have made and all that. And it was just like the way everything went on is like, if you're a person with bipolar disorder and you're not strong enough, you even be scared to venture like traditional corporate like institutions, but it shouldn't be so. If you have a mental health challenge that you didn't call for and put upon yourself, and you have worked, you have studied in school, you should have equal opportunity to work wherever you want to work at. And if in case you have crisis, there has to be a support system that can help you manage whatever is going on. I'm sure you may be over bit me, you may be over to me, but there has to be a discourse. Don't just lay off the person because, okay, this person has bipolar or does not have bipolar. There are companies, as again, due to stigmatization, but when the time is right, I can proudly say their head HR, their cancer, almost mini branches near there. I know that they have people with bipolar disorder almost support you, even when it comes to their medical bills. When they have crisis, they are able to have like maybe a month or two off to take care of themselves, and they can come back to work. And their company is always reminded of like how hardworking, how intelligent and industrious they are, rather than the mini crisis that they have. So if like a lot of people could like, toe that line, because any bipolar, there's so many other mental health conditions. And there was this survey done in the UK, Ghana company, we don't have that investment, so they focus on researching on mental health. But over 70% of like, their revenue was being lost because people had mental health conditions. Their productivity was low. So until the country like restructured, if you pay attention to the UK, even the royals are supporting mental health advocacy. Even the royals, Prince William almost supporting mental health advocacy because they know the importance of it. When you look at countries like Australia, United States, they are doing so much when it comes to mental health advocacy. Here in Ghana has we just sensationalize things, we don't educate ourselves, and the worst of it all is we make everything spiritual. Our mental health systems are not well funded. Me a dey be a about mental health problems. Me a dey, apart from going to the hospital to take my medicine, staying at the hospital, the psychiatric hospital itself, mommy, because the place is not up to standard. Obey happy say why compared to let's say physical health services. You can say maybe a cardio, maybe a we want mental health services. The system is so bad. It's so bad. It even deters people from getting diagnosed and getting the proper treatments that they need.
Abena, yadi yankomo twhwe ebe no. Is it about time as a nation we thought about say yadi embra egu akwemu for the protection of people who may have these mental disorders?
So in money the mental health law is in existence. The LI has been passed. I don't know if you've already interacted with Dr. Say, but he will even throw more light on it. In money the but let's say if you have a mental health problem and you are wrongly laid off from your work, are there systems to support you to get back to work or to correct your employers? No. When it comes to the NHIS, does it cover mental health conditions? No. Mental health persons are omontumi enye juma. In other countries, there are stipends for them. There are financial institutions that can help them, find work or just be supported. Do we have all those in Ghana? No. There's a program being rolled out, Quality Rights by the WHO. I think it started in Ghana maybe 3-4 years ago, but because of our bureaucratic stuff, because of our systems in place, it's quite challenging. Actually, letting it see the day of life, letting it being effective as it's supposed to be. The process is still going on. Mental health advocates and professionals, they are working, but we don't have the main population and the government truly on our side. So it makes things very, very difficult. Yeah.
Abena na pe bedo ase so waje mera na yedin komo.
Me so me da se say yedin komo. Thank you.
Me do ase Abena Korkor, a mental health advocate on so a bipolar condition. She's managing one, and she's sharing her experiences with us live on the Happy Morning Show.